European 500 trophy race, 13th ever running in the Cliff 500, 2002 version of Jaguar looking like it will be the winning place. An absolutely jubilant Jaguar team, but ladies and gentlemen, the protests are coming in. There is some concern about how many driver changes the Jaguar team made during that fantastic championship charge. Remember, this is motor racing and all protests must be accompanied by cash or handsome quantities of product. Well, I've been offered 50 litres of Jules paint so far to bend the rules, and I think that's an insulting offer. I'm utterly incorruptible. Money, hard cash, that always speaks the loudest. Dreadlock Rasta. Slidden 500. 13th time we've run this event, the 9th year the event's been running. A very, very successful event for the manufacturer. A bit tiring for the guys because it's one of those days where you start at 10 and you don't finish till maybe 10:30. But the atmosphere is great, the guys love it, and I tell you what makes a change. Unlike the Furry festival where we're dealing with people who earn hundreds of thousands of pounds, here you're entertaining people who are just earning 10, 15, 20, 30,000 pounds. So we're talking about the blue collar sector of the community, and it's rare that we get a chance to do much for them. Anyway, we're heading over. The bar opens at 8 o'clock and you can be sure it's going to be boisterous tonight. Corporate entertainment. It's supposed to be a glamorous business. That's what they tell you. But in reality, actually, all it is bloody hard work. It's a really strange feeling when you're here in the evening, because this of course is the Grand Prix circuit, and this has been my home for the past literally 15 or 16 years. Despite its flatness and openness, this place has a very special feeling for me, and I guess now it always will do to the end of my life, because this is where really I've made so far the most of my career. And for me, it's kind of like an old friend. I know the circuit intimately, and I know every part of it, both on and off track. And whatever you say about the track and one thing and another, you'd have to say that this place is motor racing in the United Kingdom. It is where the Grand Prix have happened over the years. It has a real sense of history. When you see structures like the BRDC suite, which they blew a cool, I think it was £3.5 million, you have to take your hat off to the people who put that together, because this is a piece of motor racing legend, and this is the landscape of Grand Prix. Because when I started working here back in 1985, literally none of this was here, and I've almost grown old whilst the circuit's grown up, and that's been very exciting. When the time comes when I move on from that, I'm sure I'll always have really fond memories of the place. Because at the end of the day, it is, whichever way you look at it, it is the Grand Prix circuit. This is the number one.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we promised you today that we have top-class guests here with us in the suite. And I have to say, they don't come any more distinguished or top-class than this next gentleman who's joining me on the stage, or up at the front here. This is a gentleman who has, in fact, been about as successful in the world of Formula One as anybody possibly could be, up to and including the current world champion, Michael Schumacher, who he's helped onto his winning ways on numerous occasions. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Ross Brawn.
Those two cars get through paddock. They have quite a bit of breathing space.
Well, this would be quite nice, this last race, because this is historic thoroughbred Formula One cars. The cynical side of me would say this is a bunch of incredibly rich businessmen underusing the cars. So these are cars that were meant to be going that actually became that's the sad part about it. From another perspective, the fact they're out there at tours providing a service, people can see F1 cars when they wouldn't see them before. And the first 6 guys probably can drive reasonably well and it's quite a good race. At the end of the day, why shouldn't they enjoy it? You know, that's the non-cynical side of it.
Great job.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, John. No problem at all.
Yeah, it's quite funny. You see the historic report there. That's how it should be done. That's how it used to be. Good God.
At the end of the day, Sam, you come to the end of these events and it's like, in a way, part of me is all revved up and no place to go. And after you've done a hard day's work, you want to be heading somewhere where you feel that there's some relief or some warmth, or I don't know. It's kind of in the anticlimax afterglow of the event. You tend to think about your life in general and work out what's missing. And I guess clearly there is something big missing, otherwise I wouldn't feel this way about it. And it's a stark contrast from what's happened during the day, where I've been effectively on stage the whole time, and when you head back, I suppose there's always inevitably going to be an anticlimax after you've been so pumped full of adrenaline. But you need to be working towards something, and perhaps that's one of the key things that's missing. This is a project that basically plays itself out on a day-to-day basis. There is no particular long-term objective other than the vague notion of making it in some way, shape or form, and whatever making it means, whether that's financial or ultimately doing something that's very much more satisfying with my time. And that's the mission, that is the challenge, and that really is what keeps me going and fighting, is the fact that I very much want to do more than I'm doing, and do it better too.
They are very quick. A lap of 42 seconds, so the marshals don't have much time to do anything, and I think they've responded to the cause magnificently. So, thanks to the British Racing and Sports Car Club, who've organised the event,
today. Would you like to do your mountain flying today, Steve? Get it out of the way?
It's a bit late now, it's a bit too windy on the mountains. So
okay.
I wouldn't chance that.
Holiday. I'll take 3.
This wasn't in fit state, but it made me so wrecked because I really didn't give a shit what happened. So when we hit all those high winds in the Pyrenees, couldn't care one way or the other.
And they do get high.
Let's just jump in.
Palma, Mallorca. I keep thinking I should be back in England working. Then again, no. Realistically, if you want to be a top helicopter pilot, it's no good going round and round in circles in Northamptonshire. You've got to get out, you've got to explore, you've got to learn about different places, different traditions.
So tonight, it's going to be an early night preparation for tomorrow when the real test begins. On the other hand, maybe not that early.
Bye guy, action man is missing.
We're with our instructor Jeremy, who took us out on the town yesterday in true Mallorcan fashion. And he, together with the other regular instructors here, are going to be trying to make mountain flying pilots out of us. So, Jeremy, conditions good today?
Yeah, they're lovely. Lovely, Steve. Yeah, absolutely lovely.
You feel confident with your charges? I mean, you saw our preparation for the job in hand last night. You could see us abstaining from drinking and avoiding the Mallorcan women. I mean, all the good stuff that you'd expect any budding professional pilot to do.
No comment.
Welcome to Sloan Helicopters, Mallorca.
First of all, welcome. Thanks for coming along and seeing us in Mallorca. What we're going to do is have a little bit of a chat about the island layout, because most of you haven't flown here before, all right? So we're going to talk a little bit about the island and about what the flying rules are here. And as you can see, unlike the English maps, there's not a hell of a lot on it. All right, it just shows you basically the VOR information and also the screen.
So that makes it quite uncomfortable to fly, and the aircraft's going to be start to be thrown around. The rule of thumb.
How deep into the mountains can you get here anyway? I mean, like, can you, if you say you put down right in the middle of them, to walk out of them, how far is it?
It's a fair walk, yeah.
Well, the other thing is we lose people every year in the mountains.
Well, we've done our flight briefing and we're out here now on the apron. And my instructor's been warning me that conditions up there today could become pretty choppy. There's thunderstorm activity over Mallorca, but what the hell? We're now going to check the aircraft over, make sure everything's safe, and we're going to get to grips with it. And what's particularly special for me is the helicopter I'm flying today, GBYTD, is a helicopter that I flew in England. It's one of the first helicopters that I flew when I was becoming a professional pilot trainee.
Okay, we're sort of pretty much facing into wind. It's funny, isn't it? But you can hover.
Yeah, I'm not turning it though, you got that, haven't you?
Yeah, I'll do the pedals. Okay, I'll just come on the controls to steady you up. We'll get airborne first, then we'll come back and try a bit more hovering in a bit, okay? So you'd like to place your feet on the pedals for me now, please. Left hand now onto the collective.
Yep.
You have all three controls, Tim?
Yep.
Okay, off we go. Okay, watch the manifold pressure, get the nose a bit more forward. So if you've got all the manifold pressure you can pull. Don't pull any more manifold pressure because you can't pull any more. Okay, just get the aircraft going. Okay, there's 50 knots, raise the nose now. Now you can pull a bit more manifold pressure. Okay, not too much more, there's 50 knots. Okay, just come round to the left now. Okay, you can climb up to about 1,000 feet. Okay, we'll gently come round to the right now. We are all clear on the left, all clear on your right.
Sunday morning in Mallorca, 100% better than it's been so far. Today is my opportunity to find out if all of the hard work that I put in with my instructor yesterday has paid off. My brother and I are going to get to grips with the 22, we're getting into the mountains, and we're going to find out what this mountain flying business is really all about. So, as soon as we get picked up by the crew, clearly, unlike myself, had a hard night out on the tiles, we're going to head into the aerodrome, prep the aircraft, and that's it, we're off. And we're going to be getting, I think, some of the most spectacular footage of the whole trip. Now this is, without a doubt, the most dangerous part of the adventure. Our chauffeur, Jeremy Taylor, helicopter instructor extraordinaire. But I have to say, quite the most dangerous man behind the wheel of a car. If we make it to the airport, anything after that will be a bonus. So I'm getting in, I'm just hoping there's an airbag in this rear passenger restraint. Now, something remarkable is happening here. Right, there's either 10 IKEAs on the island, all close together, one after another, or there's one IKEA and we've lapped it 10 times. And I have a feeling it's the latter.
When I've gone the wrong way without a doubt. Head back. Yeah.
I tell you what, with the money I'm saving by not helicoptering, why don't we go in and buy some Swedish flat pack furniture? Might as well, because one thing we've established is we do know the way to IKEA. IKEA again!
Right, that's the
no,
first bit, right?
Honestly, please.
No. Ausente aquí. Pregunta aquí.
I don't understand. Sorry. You roll on, baby. Roll on. Just do the window.
Release
do what you like.
Release me.
You want to do the window?
Release me. Let me out. Well, finally made it to San Bonnet. And remarkably, when I arrived here, I found something had changed. GBYTD, the aircraft, the R-22 Beta that I flew yesterday, has gone. In its place was this remarkable beast. When you look at it, you notice that in place of the metal skid, we appear to have an inflatable pontoon. I thought, what's this all about? And of course, what it is, this is an R-22 Mariner. And as far as we're concerned, when we're flying over Mallorca, this actually gives us an added dimension of safety and security, because in the event of an emergency or a problem in the mountain, I've now got another escape route, quite literally the sea. The R-22 Mariner was developed with these floats, and indeed with the stinger on the rear of the aircraft, to allow the pilot, in the event of an emergency, or in fact, if he wishes so to do, to land in the sea or indeed on a lake. So this is a very versatile helicopter. Fabulous machine, and also, from my perspective, interesting, because the first time I've ever flown a float-equipped helicopter. And apparently, it does make a considerable difference to the handling of the helicopter. It slows it down, and it also makes it more susceptible to wind gusts. But let's get aboard, let's get aloft and find out if that is in fact the case. Oh, here we go. Clutch engaged, alternator on. Take the nav lights on, for the needles, look for the blades turning. Commander on standby, it's on 7,000. What's the frequencies they gave us here, Sam? Starter on light is out. That's the clutch picking up. Leave it at 60 till we get some temperature, that'll take no time at all. Quite heavy.
a team. We didn't panic in a crisis. That's what this business is all about. So fabulous flying here at Mallorca. And you know what? I just can't wait till we do the trip for real. Well, back in the UK and still in one piece. So it's been a success. And I've learned loads from the instructors in Mallorca. Fabulous flying, no question about that. But the thing that's a touch frustrating is that when we were on the EasyJet on the way back, which of course we were never planning to be on, and for which EasyJet, bless them, there goes one, charged us an arm and a leg extra. I looked out of the window, perfect blue sky, and before me I saw the damn Pyrenees. But the problem was I saw them from 20,000 feet higher than we should have been. Because of course this mission was about my brother and I making our way back from Mallorca to the United Kingdom across everything that stood in our way. But don't be thinking this is the end of it, because it isn't. The skills I've gained this weekend are going to be put to good use, because it's only a matter of time before we get out there and we're going to bring one of those babies back to England. Across the water, across the mountains, across France, across the Channel, right back here into Blighty. I know we can do it. We proved it this weekend. We're a great team. We're going to have a lot of fun. For now though, got to head back home, start planning already.
Sunday morning, Akeley. My new place. It's small, but it's home. Over here, my pet, Peace Frog. He's in a diving scenario, Sam. Yeah, Mallorca.
Part 2.
Right.
What's the score?
Well, you know what? I've been pursuing that, right? Because an even better trip potentially has come up, and that's just bringing this helicopter back from Portugal. Better, I mean, on the basis that it's a little further, but also that I've never been to Portugal. And primarily better because there's a helicopter there, which if it needs bringing back, would require, for example, a pilot to go out there. But there'd be no hours to pay. And the difficulty I have with the Mallorca trip at the moment, and I'll do it if it comes up, is making sure that I can afford to do it. Because Sloan, obviously, with an eye to make money, even like their customers to pay, then their customers are effectively helping them. So obviously there are enough people who want to build hours that when a helicopter needs ferrying, customers pay. Now in an ideal world that's a ridiculous situation if you think about it, because the customer is effectively doing Sloan a favour by going and collecting a helicopter theoretically. But the problem with helicoptering, there are any number of people around doing helicoptering who can afford to put their hand in their pocket and write a couple of grand check without thinking too much about it. This GPS, potentially a fantastic tool. In reality, every time I've used the GPS I've got horribly lost.
That happened to me in Mallorca.
Yeah, I haven't really quite worked out how to set it up.
Steve, I think you're going the wrong way.
No, Zach, I've got to drop Sam at Silverstone before he goes to me. He's got to pick his car up. So that's good navigation, by the way. If we were trying to get to Whittleby Hall, we would be going the wrong way.
Don't you think you should film something better than just filming the car and me and Steve?
There is nothing better.
Yeah, there is. The road, the traffic, the other things, of course.
So you want to be the director, do you?
Yeah.
There's Sam's car.
Where?
There.
What? That's tiny. Too small.
Well, compared to the Lexus, I suppose, yeah.
No, the Express is bigger than this one.
Express, true. Right. So, Zach,
Any final thoughts on the film so far?
I told you, didn't I?
Well, you did, but you haven't seen all the rushes. You haven't seen what we've already shot. We've shot lots of helicopter material in Mallorca, right? We've shot stuff at Brands Hatch when I've been presenting. So there's a lot of other material in the can. Plenty of helicopter shots, racing cars, bikes, interviews. Does that sound a bit better? Yeah? We're making epic? What about the stars?
Well, if it's really beautiful, I suppose so.
Okay.
And you should film a rainbow too if you get to film one.
Film a rainbow too, yeah. That's good advice, I think, probably.
Well, I believe you haven't actually passed your PPL.
No.
No, that's the private take two. This is a Breitling emergency. $3 worth. What's up?
Hold it still.
Okay.
If you want me to look at it, hold the frigging piece. The camera's going like this, we're going focus.
Now, of course, what is interesting is the instructor's advice on the different way. Take two. And if you're going to have problems, it's probably going to be in the afternoon. Scratch that one. Now, what is interesting is the instructor's spin on what kind of...
Cut.
You see, the guys at Sloan in Mallorca tell me that they never go mountain flying in the morning.